I mean, we could definitely get.
Do you think you would be able to be homeless?
There was a point in my life that I estimated I was a month away from homelessness, where I was preparing, if something hadn't changed in that month, that I would have had to have moved out of my apartment, and I was just going to go to a car.
You wouldn't have had a friend that you could have went to?
I mean, some nights. I'm not trying to put someone out because I'm an idiot.
Oh, it was something you did, self-inflicted.
I mean, I obviously...
Would you quit your job?
It's along those realms where my job wasn't paying.
Okay.
But it's self-inflicted because I could have just got a different job, I guess.
That's true.
I got principles, though, man. Thursday evening, y'all. Welcome to the show, My Friends Podcast. This is your host. Some call me Earl. We got Mike. Booyah.
I'm confused at how you just got the host title.
I'm pretty sure you guys deemed me the host.
No.
No, I thought he was going to actually go out in the middle of the street and just fight for it.
Was that? I just self-titled that?
3 co-hosts?
I'd rather not.
I mean, it's your equipment. That's the only thing you're bringing to this table.
Yeah. The only thing that makes us different than just a regular conversation
is the equipment.
Yes.
It really means nothing if nobody's listening, though.
Your podcast ain't shit without Booyah.
I wish we could. I wish we had a lot of listeners, then we could have them vote for who you feel would be the best host.
I would vote for Some Call Me Earl to be the host.
Why? He brings nothing to the table.
He's funny.
He's not funny.
He's
not smart or intelligent.
Shit, I'll think of something else.
He has a horrible voice. He looks dumb.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It was so funny when you said bum cam, when you saw my homelessness, and you said bum cam. I was like, should we go to the bum cam? Wouldn't it be funny if we could call a bum and like he has like a fucking can with a string in it? And he's like, hey, it's me. Arrive here on Van Dyke and Harbor. And so what's going out there? I smells like pee.
We could definitely get a bum on retainer.
Could we?
I think so. I mean, what are they doing?
I mean, nothing really.
Is there anyone that we could call right now just to see what's going on in the streets? Maybe he's around some bums.
I mean, there's...
I don't think so. What's Tom up to?
It'd be nice to get someone on the phone.
That'd be great.
Let's just see what happens there. In the meantime, I read that homelessness is actually
the number one job in America.
Up since the Great Recession was taking place. This is the first year that it's been up. So in large cities like LA and New York, it's up 5%. So if you had 1 million people,
5,000 of them,
5,000 more.
That sounds like a lot. How accurate are those stats?
Extremely accurate.
What's happening? Is there less jobs, or are they causing this themselves?
Well, a lot of it, I'm quite sure, has to do with income base. Because I read a study years ago, that spoke to be classified as homeless is not being able to pay your own rent, mortgage, and gas and all by yourself. And there's a lot of people that have roommates, so it's kind of hard for one person to pay, like, especially here with like car insurance being $500 a month and shit like that, and rent if you want to live in a nice area is probably like maybe $600-700, and gas and things like that. So you could be considered homeless, and you could have a home to live in and pay everything. You know what I mean?
Well,
so unless you call it your own, it's
the big factor is that cost of living, prices for, rents have gone up significantly, and wages aren't matching it. So that's the factor that makes it, that will jump that number up to 5. And just to be clear, our fact checker has inputted 5% of 1 million is actually 500,000 or 50,000. 50,000. So that's 50,000 more people if a city was 1 million. But a city like New York is what? How many? What's the population in New York?
Ooh, like 3 million.
It's got to be more than that.
It's like 9 million people in New York. I'm going with 9 million.
If you're listening, just take a guess. Take a guess.
I'm going with 9. 8.53.
Very close.
Man.
Nice work.
I said $1, so you went over.
He said $1. He said
Just
one dollar,
person.
one person. You would have to give it to me. If I said 9 million and it was 8.5 million.
Look at the difference in New York and Los Angeles. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, 5 million.
Double.
Almost 5 million. And then Chicago. Detroit.
So that's 425,000 more people categorized as homeless this year in New York.
That's 8 million.
When was the last time Detroit had 1 million people?
Probably the early 80s.
In the 80s?
The 80s, I'm sure. Maybe 90s.
I bet we're at now 700.
600,000.
672. It was at 1 million just in the early 90s.
Wow. 672,000 people.
Look at the drop in 2010.
In 2008, the housing market crash.
Yeah.
Bam. See ya.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's all the way down to 2010 and 672,000.
It dropped like 300,000 people.
That is crazy. And I'm part of that. 2005, I moved to Vegas, so I'm a part of that drop.
Okay.
But I'm a part of the rise.
I don't see a rise
back.
on the graph that we're
It's
looking
coming.
at.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's going to be there. We just got to go from 2015 to 2019. We haven't had those stacks yet. It's going to be different.
You're right. I'm not in Detroit, but moved here in 2015.
I think Detroit should buy like Grosse Pointe and Southfield.
Is that how it works? You just buy them?
Yeah, you buy them. Buy those areas.
How much do you think that? I feel like Detroit couldn't afford Grosse Pointe.
I know, right?
Now they can't afford anything right now. They can't afford a jail.
672,000 people. That's it.
Is that sad?
That's very sad. When you look at Chicago, they got like 2 million people.
But Detroit could take them.
Right.
You think so? In the fight?
Detroit are some of the toughest.
Scrappy.
I don't give a fuck how tough you are. 600,000 tough guys versus 2 million nerds.
Hey, the
Cubs fans? I mean,
It's the Cubs.
I think Detroit got them.
The
You think
Spartans
so?
did it.
Right.
Yeah,
They did with 300.
Yeah, it was.
This is the same thing. Detroit
That shit was
Detroit
written by
Spartans.
Greeks who wanted to come up with a great story. You know what I mean?
That shit was real, homie.
There's some realness behind that.
Not some. I think it was exaggerated.
Do you understand?
They lost.
Do you understand where the term marathon came from?
Oh, being able to go on and on and on and on and on from them fighting on and on and on and on, right?
No, marathon being the distance in a marathon. That's from the distance that I forget his name, who ran back to tell everybody of their loss that they had, that the Spartans had. He ran the distance of a marathon, and that's why they call it a marathon, because of the distance he ran.
Phidippides.
And when he got back, he yelled. He had something to do with
Help!
no, it said Nike, which actually means victory. But all that plays into why the term marathon and Nike came about.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It's because of that.
Check out the big brain on Mike. That's right. Smart motherfucker.
Yeah,
Marathon.
they teach us stuff in school.
Oh, yeah,
What school do you go to?
Huh?
What school do you go to?
Other side of the state, they taught us stuff in school over there.
Oh, you're talking about high school.
Yeah.
But
High school.
But wouldn't it be? But can you imagine though how easy it would have been if he could have just texted him? You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Yo, man, we won.
He ran a fucking marathon, and that's what 25 miles or something.
20.
What if he just was like, I got some news, and then they were like, yeah, what is it? And then it was just the 3 dots just waiting for like hours. And like,
He was killed in the midst of that.
yeah, right.
Do you think that that's ever happened in the history of text? Somebody was texting, the dots came up, and they were killed.
Absolutely.
And it still shows 3 dots.
Absolutely. You know when it happened? When they were texting and driving. Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
You started typing,
yeah.
got crashed, got killed in a crash.
Got crashed.
Bring yourself. And they're still waiting for that response.
What if he ran all the way back, and then it was like, "What's the great news?" He was like, "Fuck, I forgot." Wait a minute, he had to run 25 miles back. What did you want me to tell them? I forgot.
It's a really long
Messengers.
message.
Right.
Can you imagine running that whole distance and then like telling them the news and they were pissed off killing the messenger? And he's like, I just ran
Do you think at any point during that run he walked? I mean, people walk during marathons. You got to take.
I mean,
Nobody's
not the professionals,
around.
not the
Walk like half a mile. It's not like he was being timed.
Right. It's not like nobody's going to
He
say.
needed to go.
I mean, he needed to get there quick to relay the message. Like, hey, we need to get more people out here.
But 12 hours and 11 hours is not a big difference. Or however long it took. You know what I mean?
I mean,
If
you're
he
looking
walked
at
a
like
little bit.
3 to 4 hours, I would think.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that's like. Being on a battlefield, things are happening quickly and in dire fashion, and you got to send messages back by horseback, ideally, or motherfuckers running 26 miles to tell you like, hey, they moved north a little bit. All right, we'll go.
I mean, they're not.
I guess you got to have field
either.
generals, obviously,
you got one
somewhere
guy who's
over there,
watching
but
everything, like writing on a piece of
planning
paper.
out battles and I don't even understand.
Just imagine the one guy who has like the piece of paper and he's seeing a battle, he's ducking the bow and arrows, and he tied to the pigeon leg. He's like, fly. He's sending shit through pigeons and shit. Fucking bow and arrows flying over his head and almost getting decapitated. He's like, oh shit. We need to send a message. I'll go. Like 10,000 people like, I'll go. We only need one brave soul to run away from this battle to tell the more forces. I'll do it. I'll be that brave
Shit,
soul.
I'll do it.
Right. But you got you got to act like you don't want to. No. I wanted to die on the field.
Right.
Well,
What do we have a
sound.
We have our first caller?
Sounds like we got a call coming in.
What?
Okay, let's go to the phone lines.
Who is it? Hello?
Hello, you've got the Thursday show.
This is My Friend's podcast. Pleasure to be on.
Oh, hey, you
Hey.
are.
He says a pleasure.
Where are you calling from?
Snowy Austin, Texas. We got about an inch of accumulation today.
Stop lying.
First time I've seen the old snow fly, I think in about 3 years. So I was going to go get an axe, but the roads are crazy, so I decided another day.
What? You were going to get an axe?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of firewood I need to split up for my fire pit.
Is this?
Oh.
You saw some snowflakes coming down and instantly like, I need an axe.
I need to cut some wood.
Yep.
This is a troubling situation.
I thought
Yeah,
he
might
was
get
like
snowed in. You never know.
I thought he was like buried inside of a house and he had to like hack up somebody to eat him or something.
Right.
I went far with it. I went way far.
You did go far.
Yeah, potentially. Tom, any ulterior motive for that axe?
No, I think just split the old cedar.
What? What?
I don't know about you guys, but go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
no, it's all you.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know about you guys, but I work in an office, and in the modern day world of multitasking, I pretty much always have some sort of entertainment going. And recently, it's been a podcast, which My Friend's podcast has been a great addition to, along with a few other ones.
Are you able
down
to?
weird paths? So I was looking at alternate forms of exercise and came across splitting wood.
Wood chopping.
Yeah.
Are you able to put the podcast on a loudspeaker so other people can hear it? Can you just play it throughout the whole office?
I can. I choose not to. But, yeah.
We definitely.
You're a little edgy.
We are.
Tom, as you know, we were discussing homelessness, and you've mentioned your interest in bums and bum culture. We were actually looking for a guy on the street to kind of, mix and mingle with some bums. I was curious if you'd be interested in the role.
I may already have some of the groundwork laid. I've got a local neighborhood guy. He goes by the name Eddie White.
Okay.
Camps out right off of a road called Deep Eddy, which is right next to the oldest swimming pool in the state of Texas.
Okay. That's good info.
Real talkative. So, if you've got questions, I'm sure he's got answers. I'd be happy to be
okay.
the mediator.
I speak for My Friend's podcast because I was deemed the host. That
And you want to debate that so bad, don't you, Mike?
Nobody deemed you the host.
that you are
think
now
you should
the
be the
official bum coordinator.
Liaison?
A bum liaison. Lazy bum liaison.
So let me get. So you're going to be the guy who goes out and interview bums and find out what they want and what they need and their culture and you're going to relay that back to us.
That sounds great.
We could go to Tom on the bum cam. And we could.
Are you gonna spend any nights on the streets like?
It's a must.
Sleeping with them. Really dig in there. Really,
it's a must.
Now, Booyah, I thought this was more of like an interview style, not like a day in the life.
But that'd be awesome, though. I mean, you really got to get in there. Get into character.
I'm looking for more of a Barbara Walters role, not like.
You got to taste the dog food, man. You got to let us know how did that dog food really taste.
If you can find any kind of trash burrito,
right?
Our goal may actually just to be to turn you into a bum.
Like it's not that bad.
Don't know what your life is like down there.
What if you like it? What if you become a bum? You're like, you know what? This is great. I have no more bills.
This is actually a better life than I was living.
Right, better life.
I can tell you right now, Eddie's got nicer clothes than I do.
Now, did that name? What came first? The name of the street? Is he named after the street he stays on, or what? How'd that go down?
These are all good questions. So my interaction with them's been brief, but I'm the proud owner of a Chrysler Sebring convertible, so quite accessible to the bum. So he camps out right at the intersection, and if you play music loud or you look him in the eye, he'll come up and talk to you and try to hug you and high five you.
He tries to hug you?
In the car?
Yeah, I mean, he gets real close, real physical. You can smell what he's drinking, that kind of close.
So you pull up at the intersection, and he just comes up and try to hug you?
When you've got a red light, he's got a green light. He's all up.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Is he asking for money from people, or is he just out there just entertaining?
I think he just wants a little human interaction. My last interaction with him was playing some loud 90s rap music, and he came up dancing and was like, "Oh, okay, I see what's going on here." I was like, "What are you up to?" I said, "I'm going to my brother's house." He goes, "My brother's a real cocksucker." And I laughed.
That's awesome.
That's the kind of interactions we have.
Your experience makes you uniquely qualified for this position. I'm glad to have you aboard.
And he performs. So he performs. He performs and everything, like sings and dance and.
It depends on the day. Some days he's a little salty. Some days he's over the top friendly. I think it all depends on like what his daily haul's been. If he's pulled in a couple good Lone Stars, which are the cheap beer of choice down here, he's flying high. If
does he prefer Lone Stars over, let's say, cash?
I think so, because he's got a bucket next to him he wrote on with a Sharpie. It's got a little spiel, and he's the self-proclaimed Lone Star King. Now, that could just mean Lone Star is in the state of Texas, but I like to think it's Lone Star beer.
Right. Is it safe to say that even if you gave him money, he might just go and buy the Lone Star anyways?
He's just cutting out the middleman at that point.
So, I mean, at least you're giving...
efficient.
At least he's not using... he's getting the 10 cents from the can also. You guys do 10 cents down there?
No.
What's your return, your deposit down there? You got one?
No, we don't.
Just nothing?
I don't think they believe in too much recycling. At least I don't.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when I moved to Vegas, it was like that. Like they throw away all the bottles. I was saving them, and then my roommate was like, "Why are you saving all these damn bottles and cans? We're taking them back to the store to deposit." He was like, "What the fuck is a deposit?" And I was like, "Oh wow, you guys don't have it." And I'm looking at like $8 worth of bottles, and I'm throwing them away. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is killing me."
Just tired of taking pop bottles back to the party store.
But you could take them to like the recycling bin, but it's just like, ugh.
A recycling man?
Recycling bin.
Oh.
I said recycling man.
Yeah, it just
like
goes around.
Walls, recycling man, I hear for you. You got your bottles.
I don't know who backs, who stands behind and says this can's worth 10 cents, but I feel like it's backed a little better than, say, Bitcoin, which has been a hot topic. That's just pure.
You'd rather invest in aluminum, used aluminum deposits over Bitcoin?
Dollar for dollar? Sure. Why not? Seems a lot more stable.
Stable isn't how you make money, Tom.
We'll have to get deeper into the bum culture to really.
Well,
but you know what, Tom? I'm surprised. I wish you would have asked that question like honestly. He should have said, "So, do you believe in you rather back be backed by aluminum, which you can actually see and touch, than imaginary money that's make believe? That's what he should have asked. He should have asked it that way.
I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
there may be a chance in your life you never even use Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, completely investment based.
Okay.
I mean, there may be a chance that everything
What
turns
do
to
you use
Bitcoin and we are all using it.
What are people using it for right now? Games? Online games?
I think games take Bitcoin. Some of them.
Why can't
there are actual retail places that'll take it. I mean, you can use it just like you could use PayPal at a store.
What about McDonald's?
It's just a matter of if they want to take it.
McDonald's?
Did you guys see there was a college football game sponsored by Bitcoin? Not Bitcoin the entity, but one of the exchanges last year. Bitcoin Bowl.
No.
Oh, wow.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah. Look it up. I don't remember who was playing in it. It was a lower level bowl, but yeah.
I guess now it's going to be a high level bowl. It's be 200 times the.
Do you think that Bitcoin can actually replace actual paper money that's backed by the U.S. Treasury?
I don't think so, because I know everybody's like, well, paper's like the U.S. dollar is just paper. It's not on the gold standard anymore, but it's backed by the U.S. government, which is a global economy, and Bitcoin isn't.
The U.S. economy ain't shit.
Bitcoin is a world, isn't it? Like, it's
a lifestyle.
It just seems like is it the same amount throughout the world?
Yes. Bitcoin payment startup BitPay cut a 3-year deal with ESPN to be the title sponsor of the St. Petersburg Bowl, an annual NCAA college football postseason game. So last year, BitPay had a bowl. It is now gone. Apparently, the sponsorship has abruptly ended.
Right. Speaking of bowl sponsorships, what do you know about the San Diego Credit Union? Are they just printing money out there? Well, why are they sponsoring bowls?
The San Diego Credit Union?
That's a bowl this year.
Wow.
That's the name of the bowl, San Diego Credit Union Bowl.
What was it called?
That's so horrible.
That's the name of the
I don't
credit
know,
union.
but I thought
Wait, what?
credit unions were like nonprofits, basically.
So how much money are they making off this?
Speaking of San Diego Bowl games, Michigan State Spartans are going to be playing in the Holiday Bowl this year. Just missed that one.
Don't know how many people listening care about that.
Okay, all right.
Ooh.
The game's last
Notre
March.
Dame fan.
Okay,
Obviously.
the Poinsettia Bowl, the game's last sponsor. The new Poinsettia Bowls were played in late December.
It's quite the payout.
The game's last sponsor was San Diego Credit Union, so it's a Poinsettia Bowl sponsored by San Diego Credit Union.
And they pay.
I mean, it's a business. It's an institution. They can get in as long as you pay the advertising.
Someone's making money in these nonprofit companies.
Oh yeah, they gotta have administrative fees and administrative costs. And
Someone's
stuff like
getting.
that.
Someone's.
I don't pay fees at a credit union, but I had the other San Diego Credit Union. So
There was multiple ones.
shout out to Mission Federal. I do not bank.
Poinsettia
You
Bowl.
don't bank at all.
I don't bank.
You keep all your money on
You
that
can
mattress.
bank on that.
You keep
You
all
can
your
take
money on
that.
that mattress.
All my money is in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
I'm tied up in Bitcoin right now.
Oh, okay.
The
You got 10 of a
Poinsettia
share?
Bowl.
I wish.
Can you instead of giving a homeless guy like $1, could you slide him like a Bitcoin?
It's not a physical thing, so you would have to have an online account.
So you can give him like, all right, well,
Go to
here's
the library.
here's-
Not very safe. Do
here's 1/16 of a Bitcoin. I can't give you the whole thing, but
you think he'd be like he'd
could
scoff
give
at it?
him-
He'd be like, "That's $20,000."
I can only
1/16? I don't think so.
I can only afford.
Give me a Lone
1/16.
Star.
Right.
Get your bank account.
Right.
Homeless, and I'll help you out. That'd be great. Bitcoin.
So what time is it down there in Texas?
7:45.
So you're an
Central
hour
Time.
behind us.
Ah.
Okay.
I thought it was two.
How many time zones are in Texas? The whole state.
Still one.
Just the one.
There's only 2 states that have 2.
Indiana.
Indiana. Actually, technically, I think that's the only one. Arizona doesn't change times, but it's all one.
Now, isn't it some parts of Texas, like the western part of Texas, has like a different time zone?
Still only one.
I don't know.
Because I remember we were driving from Phoenix to Dallas, and it was during my birthday. And as we was driving, everybody's phone jumped ahead, and it was like August the 3rd. And everybody was like, "Happy birthday, booyah!" Oh, thank you. And we're steady driving. And then some kind of way, our phones jumped back to... was like right coming like out of Arizona into Texas. Like,
were you driving a DeLorean?
No, but it seemed like it though.
Ooh,
it seemed like it though.
El Paso is 2 hours.
Okay. Is El Paso west?
Texas.
El Paso.
Yeah.
Dang.
So,
Alex is wrong once again.
Tom is
we
wrong.
were driving through El
Person that
Paso.
Tom is wrong. Everyone's wrong.
Well, I said that there was 2.
Now look up El Paso on a map. I think you had to go through El Paso if you're going from Phoenix to Dallas.
What's the
El Paso?
What's the
Spent a month there one night.
What's the Spanish translation for El Paso?
the pan or something? What is El Paso?
The pass. It's still the pass.
The pass.
What are we looking at?
Going from Phoenix to Dallas, I think you had to go through El Paso.
So how often does it snow in Texas?
I don't know, but it's a big state. In Austin, it's snowed twice in the last 4 years.
That's got to really shut
what it
things
was.
down. They don't know how to adapt with snow, do they? How south is Austin?
You know, right?
Look.
Austin is as south as like New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
So why is it snowing there? And
Tom,
Jacksonville, it says as south as Jacksonville, Florida. So it doesn't snow in Florida, does it?
it can.
Can we get a meteorologist on the call?
It snowed in Atlanta before.
Do you know any meteorologists down in Texas we could call?
Emery?
We do.
Is he available?
Well, that would go back to bullying. He's not going to call.
The problem with that.
He would have called.
Speaking of burned bridges, bad experiences. All right. Anyway, sorry.
You'd have to listen to our previous show to understand, but you would have listened to it because you're.
It's
going to
be hilarious. Just trust us.
It's great.
Well,
so
anyway,
thanks for being
Tom,
a faithful listener, man, and I don't want to thank you for me being your favorite of the show. I appreciate you, man.
Tom, I would like to ask you this because Alex does feel that he's the host, but we've never really said one person. If you had a perfect host for the show, who would you choose?
Of the three of you?
Yes.
Well, you really got to put me on the hot seat here.
Oh, yeah.
Callers call in and choose sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really
All
why
right.
we wanted you to call anyway.
You said we're edgy.
I think right now I would probably go with Mike. Just
All right.
because
Well,
he
thanks
seems
for
like
the
one who
call.
wants it the least.
Because he's the one who wants it the least.
Tom's
I
a big
the
underdog
humility of
guy.
my leader,
I
so.
just wanted to be the background guy. I just wanted to,
He started from the bottom.
and now I'm here.
He didn't even have a mic.
Right.
But you know what we have now, Tom?
A mic?
I have a mic, but it's more than just a mic. We have sound effects. So we're bringing a lot to the table.
It sounds amazing. I'm very excited.
How are you going to feel listening to this podcast and hearing yourself?
Probably wouldn't do it, but we shall see.
Okay.
It'll be good.
Well, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate you taking the lazy bum liaison position. Glad to have you aboard.
Yep.
We are going to sign off.
Gotta go catch my
Thanks for
train.
having me.
There's that. All right, you take care. You start your research. We'll talk to you again.
All right, you're doing the Lord's work.
Thank you.
Well, now that we've solidified our bum liaison, feel really good about that.
Oh, yeah,
This is
great.
probably the most productive thing we've done.
Just the call
Since we
alone,
started.
I think was we had a caller on the show.
That's awesome. That's a big step.
It is a
you know
big
what?
step.
We might be
We've
a
opened up a
category
door.
or a question in Jeopardy.
What?
The
what's that?
amazing 2020 year 2020 podcast, My Friend's Podcast, which is such huge, start off with the first caller was who? You know what I mean? Some shit like that. You know, might be
You
a
never
question.
know.
I like where your head's
Who is
at.
Tom?
I like where you're doing.
You know what I mean? You never know, man.
It's just Tom. I think he's the guy who actually was the MySpace guy. That would probably be Tom. If someone asks who is Tom,
Right.
Right.
Great.
it's gotta be that guy.
photo of him.
But the next Tom, definitely.
next time,
Bum Liaison.
What do you think Tom
Next
is doing?
Tom, you got your name.
that would be nice to say instead of next time. Let's just say next time.
You know, all right. Good evening, folks. Have a great one. We're out of here. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Bye.